All right. Well, sunshine it is. California summer. Well, fall.
Yeah, we're in the
Already.
forest now.
In the forest in the fall. It's still pretty warm. But here we are in a lovely place, and it's truly, truly lovely. I like it here a lot. And, this place kind of makes you think about, in the midst of the chaos and in the midst of the noise, which a lot of it happening right now, how do you find that center? How do you find God? How do you connect with something higher than yourself, bigger than yourself?
I was sitting with this lady one time. She was married to a preacher. Have to be careful of those preachers. But anyway, she drank a little bit, and I don't know. We weren't getting too far, and I just did a random thing. I said, "Where's the God part for you?"
Mm-hmm.
And there was an empty chair in the room, and she pointed to the chair and said, "God's like that empty chair." And I was just intrigued. I said, "Tell me." And she said, "Every time that I get up to sit in the chair moves on me." She said, "I'm always chasing the chair. So I make all these deals with the chair, with God, and I always fall short." And she went on and just explaining all this, and there was some silence and another random thing. I just didn't know what to do, so I just got up and I walked behind the chair and I held it down. And I said to her, "I got to tell you something." I said, "The chair is bolted to the ground. It will never move."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Say again." I said, "God won't move." I said, "You chasing the chair, in a sense, causes God to move." And she said, "I've never heard that before." And I said, "You haven't heard that?" I said, "That's the best part." And all of a sudden, she just started crying. I think she must have cried, wept for a good 15 minutes, and I just sat there with her. That's what we do. We kind of got it backwards. We're always chasing God.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, it's the other way around. As far as God's concerned, you're in 100%. He absolutely adores you, loves you. And there's nothing that you would ever be able to do that would change God's mind about that. So, therefore, the chair, God, is bolted. It will not move. All you have to do is profoundly simple nothing except sit down. And that's kind of like part two. I'll get into part two, which is also incredibly simple. But all of your effort, all of my effort to sit in the chair is useless because God does the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, my job is to do nothing more than nothing. David in I think it's the 46th Psalm, 3,000 years ago, said the same thing. He just simply said, "Be still." In other words, that Hebrew word for be still means don't strive, don't go after.
Mm-hmm.
Simply, simply do nothing. God adores you. He loves you. And you can trip on that all day long. All God wants to do is simply be with you, whether you go left or whether you go right. You don't have to clean up your act in order to get into the presence of God. So that's the first part. Nothing.
Sounds easy.
Well, that's why it's hard,
Exactly.
is
Yes.
because it's so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do all that stuff if you want to do. That's what I run into people that do that all the time. They say, "Well, I'm going to read the Bible." and I'm going to read for 15 minutes every day, and I'm going to pray longer, and I'm going to work down at the food bank, and I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to, and I'm going to, and I'm going to, and I'm going to. All that stuff is good if you want to do it, right on. But there's nothing that you need to do
Right.
in order to connect. And so you start with number one. You're in 100%. You're the apple of God's eye. That's just amazing. It's called grace. It's a gift. And even though you and I don't deserve it, it even makes it more amazing. You're loved.
I'm gonna stop right here.